This your boy DC The Truth. This is not a savage video. This is basically why women can't find fulfilling relationships or marriage. That should be it for the intro to one of my social media platforms. Let's get into it. Since I will be uploading this video on YouTube, I'm gonna put it on Facebook, so it's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of you guys that know me personally, and I'm also putting it on my private Instagram. So I know it's a lot of you guys out there, despite whatever your religious beliefs are. I'm just talking about core issues of the family structure and how's it pertain to marriage and the division of it. And you can even see that, you know, to all my fellow brothers, Christian brothers and sisters out there, y'all see the divorce rate as well in your congregation. So this applies to everyone. Now, we can see from generations and generations on back. For example, you look at Gen X and baby boomers. There was a lot of dropping through the different generations. So that's why I want to go ahead and play this clip of a woman talking about these issues by the name of Shahrazad Ali. If I'm saying her name correctly, I'm sorry if I butchered it. Please forgive me. So let's play that clip.
Now, the brothers are giving up and they're calling it a movement like men going on their own way, the red pill. Men are calling it the Manosphere. They're saying, forget about it. We're done with the black woman. We're going to tell her to go her way. Have you heard about this movement?
I have heard it a lot, but you have to remember they're dealing with decades of resistance and hostility and having their money taken and not being able to have a proper meal to even eat. And if any sister is looking for a man, she need to go to the grocery store around 5 or 6 o'clock. Because they all in line, they all lined up trying to get a plate of food for $10.
Wow, that's okay? Right. That's
and
right.
I tell the sisters, if you start cooking, he'll come by your house. He'll show up and he'll sit there a while. Okay? As if even ask a woman, can she cook? That's a turn off, and she'll get rid of him if he say, hey baby, can you cook? That's the end of that.
Okay, now that we see that, we see. And I talk about this a lot, especially on, you know, my private Instagrams. You know, I know women on there just tend to think they just got to a point the way they just ignore me. Well, that's, you know, that's you, that's DC doing what he doing. But at the heart of it, you know, it's basically information out there, you know, putting out there to try to help women as well as men. You know, I talk to men too. And which is going to bring me to my point about Kevin Samuels, how he used to address men, but when he flipped to women, that's how he became famous. And those of you that's even using this, let's say Facebook, for example, you using this, you know, you're well aware who Kevin Samuels is or any other contemporaries in the Manosphere. Y'all know that. So again, back to Shahrazad Ali. This is nothing new. This lady's been talking about these issues, I want to say, what was it, late 70s? Maybe even before then. I can't remember. But back when they had outlets like Ricky Lake and all the other women talk shows that I can remember from the 90s, and y'all probably had other shows that was out there before then. And you know the narrative that was spoken about men at that time, you know, it was either, you know, men are dogs. It was just this persona against men in the community. And someone like Shahrazad Ali was actually state, look, especially in the black community, you know, men, women, you can, they spend their strongness in different areas of their life, like education. I always preach, like, your education means nothing when it comes to dating a man, so to speak. You know, it's about how feminine you in. Like, for example, she used there just one simple thing, something like cooking, can make a big difference like that. But the modern woman gets away from that. they want a man to cater to them. You know, it's like instead of it being the other way around. And back to some of the Christians or whatever. The reason I believe even divorce rates are so high, even there in those Christian congregations, because the Christians, just like in their Bible would tell them that, hey, listen to the women of old. But a lot of them get away from them and they don't even take their advice. So, and wonder why marriages don't last. This is just something I observe for myself. And then, you know, I'm an observer of people. I may not be able to put it together, but I can see like, hey, this is what's going on. And I can see it there in Christian congregations as well. This probably has a lot to do with that. People really have to get back to their roots. You wonder why your granddad, your grandmother made it, you know, although they could have been divorced, but you wonder how they hung in all them years. There was different sacrifices on both ends. And so, oh, and by the way, I'm sorry I didn't credit the clip to MTR. He did took out his time to really edit minutes and minutes of different videos and condense it down to a 20-something video. You know, by the way, just YouTube the name MTR. He'll pop up. When you big like that, you got it like that. So, and then, you know, before I leave, I'm just gonna dive back. Let's just say, you know, here in the black community, we have had a lot of things that infiltrate our community, such as oppressors that tried to divide the black family, you know, whether that was through, you know, the crack epidemic, Jim Crow, all that of that nature. You know, it was designed, you know, even from the welfare system. You know, the thing was designed to take the man out of the family. And what we have is like a mess, and you trying to rebuild that. So that's why you have a man like Kevin Samuels is needed, because for decades and decades, you have men out here calling women queens that does not fit that description. You know, it's like, hey, you have ratchet women you want to lump up there in the category of queens, which that should not be the case. Queens should be called queens, and ratchet women should belong in a place. So you have simps in the community, I call, you know, beta males, that'll sit here and put these women on the type of pedestal they don't belong on. They're not queens. And some men have to really remember that. You know, I'm taking the red pill mindset, the Manosphere mindset out of the equation. And, well, it is part of the equation. But that's why I say, you know, when women get an uproar about this man, Kevin Samuels. But these same women that have anything to say about Kevin Samuels, when he was telling men to get their stuff together, you 30, you need to do this. There's a 5-year plan to get yourself where you can provide for yourself, not only yourself, a woman, so to speak, but you need to be able to provide for yourself. That's why men like him exist. You know, he checked the men. Now it's time to call the women out on just bad behavior that's been exhibiting over the years. But women would get in the uproar like he's bashing. What is the man saying wrong at the end of the day? I don't find no fault with it. And if y'all look deep inside, y'all know those issues exist. There's a lot of women that agree with the man. Some people look at him, well, he's just tearing down certain women. But no, you have to look at what's being done. At the end of the day, he's really helping them. They asking for criticism. He's saying, like, look, if you the size of an earthquake, you can't expect to get a man of this high caliber making this amount of money. It's like y'all want him to be tall, dark, and handsome, but you look like an earthquake. Men don't get that privilege. A lot of women don't like, for example, I'm considered a short man, you know, in the average whatever. But, you know, a lot, I don't hold that accountable to women. That's their preference. But I know there's a lot of women that deal with men 5'8" and under. Don't bother me. That's the whole thing, is just taking accountability or whatever. Work with what you got. Whatever your strong suit, you work with that. That's my message. This your boy DC the Truth, man. I'm gonna sign this out for real.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is he my friend or my foe? I'm my exit, bro. Yeah, she give me that clean might as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at all this, silly, I'm bothered.